So on your left-hand side, we have the wild horse of Africa, the zebra. Domesticated, but that's because they lack the endurance of a horse as well as its gentle nature. They're very cautious and very skittish animals. That's because they're some of the most preyed upon species to inhabit the North African plains. Now the ones that we have here at African Lion Safari are actually a subspecies of zebra. They're called Grant's zebra. The way that you can tell them apart from others is that their black stripes completely encircle their belly as well as their legs. They get thicker towards the back end or rump of the animal. And there's many theories as to why they have this stripe pattern. One of the more popular is that they act like a Venetian blind. So the black stripes will absorb the cooling the animal down. That come right out of the back of their head, and they actually kind of spiral near the base of their skull. And they're the largest of all the antelope because they can weigh as much as 2,000 pounds when fully grown. And here, just at the edge of the road, we have the largest living flightless bird. This is the ostrich. These ones here are the females. You can tell from the color of their plumage, because the females will have a dusty brown, almost gray color to them, whereas the males are more of a jet black color.
Did you see that?
Ostriches can run at speeds of around 75 kilometers an hour, and they can maintain those speeds for over half, which is pretty incredible because if you look, these ones on our left-hand side, you'll notice on their feet, they've got those very long necks with that small head. In fact, their brain is actually only around the same size as your thumb. However, they were domesticated early on because their feathers were deemed to be valuable. That's why they survived in such antelope known as the Attic. They're mostly desert-dwelling antelope. And here, we can see the tallest land animal on the planet. This is the giraffe. Giraffe will stand around 6 feet tall when first born and weigh 130 pounds, but when fully grown, they can stand at over 20 feet tall and weigh as much as 3,200 pounds. You'll notice that as these ones are walking, they actually lift both of their limbs on the same side of their body at the same time. This is called a pace. This helps to conserve energy. It's what gives them that very graceful look that they are famous for. In fact, that's where their name comes from, because giraffe means the graceful one in Arabic. Those long legs and that very long neck, but they actually have the same number of vertebrae in their neck as a mouse does, which is 7, same number that we have. They do, however, have a very strong and powerful heart. It weighs around. A lot of our giraffe look like they're on the move. Down fuzzy tips on the top of their heads. They're skin covered. These are not horns or antlers. These are actually... You can see they're very front heavy. They've got those large heads, thick neck and broad shoulders. Close-up of the wildebeest, you'll notice they got that very long front of their face. That actually serves a purpose. They have a series of nasal flaps in their nose that help to filter out dust when the herd is on the move, because they do pick up quite a lot of dust. These antelope here on our right-hand side with that copper red neck and that white coat, they are the scimitar horned oryx, named after the scimitar sword because of the curious curve of their horns. And they're a deep desert-dwelling antelope that can actually raise their internal body temperature so that they don't sweat as much in the heat, and therefore they don't lose as much moisture as other animals would. Here you can get a better look at our giraffes as well as those ossicones on the top of their head. You can see this one with that stick in its mouth, tongue. Its purplish black in color. You think it's that color, Tyler?